So where did Chiefs come from? OCE Stage 2 was an absolute rip-roarer of a stage. It had twists, turns, heroes, villains, betrayals and revenge arcs, all the makings of a fantastic Netflix series. But we're going to break down exactly what happened and let you know why you might want to support Chiefs in this upcoming Montreal Major. So the Oceanic League has always been run by pretty much Team Bliss. We've seen some of those players go on over into EUL and perform well over there, and they've just continued to produce fantastic Australian talent inside of the OCE League, which is probably why you're wondering who are Chiefs and where are Bliss. Well, at the start of the season, Bliss was no longer. Bliss was bought out by Gaming Gladiators. That roster moved over to Gaming Gladiators, and that Gaming Gladiators made one change that sparked a chain reaction which ultimately saw their downfall. So at the start of the OCE League, big changes were made for that ex-Bliss lineup that had joined Gaming Gladiators. Odah was dropped from that Gaming Gladiators lineup. Tuhan came in to replace him, which started this chain reactions. Originally, Ludovica were picked up by Chiefs, and then joining that Ludovica lineup was indeed Odah, joined by these individuals here. So as you can see, that Ludovica lineup of Tex, Cairo, Player, Quiz, and now Odah was picked up by Chiefs. Another interesting twist to this tale is that Chiefs is owned by Bliss as well. So Bliss dropped their old roster. Well, they didn't drop their own roster. It got picked up by Gaming Gladiators, but co-owned Chiefs, owned by Bliss, now had this new roster with Odah, ex-Bliss, who was benched by Bliss, moving in with Tex, Cairo, Player and Quiz, and then they got cracking with Stage 2 of the Oceanic League. So during the season, it was business as usual for ex-Bliss, now Gaming Gladiators. They went on in the league to go undefeated, but they did have one big game up against Chiefs where everyone thought this now may be the time for that ex-Bliss, now Gaming Gladiators lineup to finally meet some opposition in the Oceanic League. And this is how the game went.
Quiz, you need to play well because Jigsaw's waiting in the wings. 30 seconds left. As I said in the last round, the Sting well and truly out of this one. A total beatdown, although Tex with a good little angle found onto Wettables. Needs to do way more, but he can't. Outnumbered and outgunned. And Odah in a 1v3 to clutch up with 20 seconds left. Against his old team, not quite what he was hoping for in the first reunion, but still more to play later in the stage. He knows that, they know that, we all know that. He does get one, but it's not going to be enough. 7-3 for Gaming Gladiators. They are the best team in the region, absolutely no debate. No one can deny it, all too easy. Wettable stares down the camera.
So as you heard there from Xanox, it was a convincing 7-3 victory, confirming Gaming Gladiators as the best, simply the best team in the region. But now you can have a look at the table here of how the final league standings finished, with Gaming Gladiators going unbeaten and Chiefs only losing one game, with that one game being up against the Gaming Gladiators, which set them up, as you can see here, for the playoffs. Both these teams got a bye through to the semi-finals, meaning they only needed to win one game apiece to make it through to the grand final, and that's exactly what happened. It ended up with Gaming Gladiators up against Chiefs in the grand final for a spot at the Montreal Major. An added value was that if Gaming Gladiators qualified for Montreal, they were looking very juicy for also confirming their spot at the 6th Invitational in February. But there was added drama yet to come before this grand final took place. With Fnatic dropping Jigsaw and Tyrant from their roster, it did mean that Jigsaw, formerly of Bliss, was now a free agent, and he travelled all the way back from Europe over to Australia to join this Chiefs lineup, replacing Player in the lineup, and that meant that Jigsaw, the former gunner of the Oceanic region, had come back home. And these two teams did meet in a best-of-3 game before this grand final. It was for the APAC Cup qualifiers, and it was Gaming Gladiators who came out on top 2-1 in the best-of-3. But just have a look at this performance from Jigsaw in that best-of-3, and also this tweet from him. As you can see here, the man put up some serious numbers in the game. So as you can see, Jigsaw on his return put up 26 kills. And as he says here, 26 kills on his OCE return, you already know what's coming. They did fall to the wayside against GG, but they still had those playoffs against them to see who would make the Montreal Major. So just to round everything up before we look at the results of that grand final, which you probably already know or else we wouldn't be making this video. Gaming Gladiators drop Odah. Odah then goes to Chiefs. Chiefs are formerly owned by Bliss. So Odah's on his revenge arc. And realistically, this Chiefs team would have never existed if Gaming Gladiators hadn't dropped Odah. Odah would have never got his mate Jigsaw back from Europe to come and play for this Chiefs lineup. So unironically, Gaming Gladiators, by dropping Odah, have built their own worst enemy. Odah joined that Ludovica side, which was picked up by Chiefs. He brings in Jigsaw to go on the full revenge arc. And Jigsaw comes back into the Oceanic region with a passion lit underneath him to prove that he's one of the best gunners inside of Australia. And the grand final, well, you know who won it? It was Chiefs winning it 2-1, but that wasn't without drama itself. But let's have a little look at a fantastic 2v1 from that gunner returning to Australia, Jigsaw.
Oh, Jigsaw. Does he know where? Oh, the timing! He kills him anyway! Jigsaw turns around and hits the head. Needs to find one more. Brendo takes a lick of damage. The Deagle is out. Yellow pink info. Keep a barrier. Blocks off entry through admin. Still so much time here. And looking to plug those holes.
They've got square camera. They've got square camera.
Kara's watching. Brendo, his entry position is known. The yellow pings continue to ring out. Keep a barrier blocking. Still the sight line, but Jigsaw makes his mark here in the grand.
Another bonus thing to remember is obviously that Odah's going up against his former team in this grand final. And there was a little interview from Manic to Odah before that grand final, just asking if there was anything that he wanted to do or involve before that grand final. And this is exactly what he said. He wanted to speak to Wet, the player on that ex-Bliss lineup, now Gaming Gladiators, to find out why he was dropped. And have a look at this clip.
Odah, anything you'd like to say before we let you go for tomorrow's grand final?
I would like a pre-game interview with Wet.
Oh my days.
Before the game. And I want him to tell me why I got benched. No,
Are you actually serious? Do you want a pre-match interview with him?
yeah, do it, run a pre-game. I know they won't because they're too focused or whatever, but I'm suggesting a pre-game Wet. That's I'm putting it out there.
I love you, mate. Thank you so much.
So the revenge arc for Odah was complete, but the final did have a little bit of drama. There was a 40-minute technical pause in which one of the players on the side of Chiefs, their power went out and they had to relocate, and there was a long pause in the final with Chiefs eventually going on to win the series. But it's safe to say that Odah completed his revenge tour with a new team, a new lineup that would have never existed if he hadn't been dropped by that Gaming Gladiators lineup. And here's the wonderful little graphic of the boys making it to the Montreal Major, who will be going into phase 1 of the Montreal Major. And I have to say, my predictions, if they manage to get past Fear X, I would back them to be Alpha or Falcons, which would see them through to phase 2 of the Montreal Major. And the sky's the limit for this team. They're relatively unknown, and they've got that gunning power of Jigsaw in that side as well. And I hope the boys absolutely smash it in Montreal. But that is the story and the drama behind what happened in the Oceanic Stage 2. An absolute rip-roarer of the story with twists and turns, players returning, players getting their revenge. And this is what makes Siege Esports fantastic. And I tell you what, the Montreal Major is now only 8 days away, and I can't wait for it.